Welcome to the desert of the real.
Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you do it? Why? Why get up? Why keep fighting? You believe you're fighting for something, for more than your survival? Can you tell me what it is? Do you even know? Is it freedom or truth? Perhaps peace? Could it be for love? Illusions, Mr. Anderson, vagaries of perception. Temporary constructs of a feeble human intellect trying desperately to justify an existence that is without meaning or purpose. And all of them as artificial as the Matrix itself. Although only a human mind could invent something as insipid as love. You must be able to see it, Mr. Anderson. You must know it by now. You can't win. It's pointless to keep fighting. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
Because I choose to.
Peace. This is Mr. Holipsism. Welcome to Holipsism's Haven. Today's show is, why do you persist? According to the present raw data, there's no logical or rational reason to be a strong African-centered man or woman within the context of the current white supremacist constructs. There is, however, tremendous incentive to lay down your cultural sword and merge into invisibility with it. Why do you persist in being African? I want to bring in my co-host for this evening, Ambassador Sar.
Peace and love. Peace, Olette. Peace, fam.
Peace. What's
going
on?
Oh man, that's a beautiful intro. It took me right back to the movies when I was first there, and I was saying to myself, while he was saying that, while Agent Smith was saying that line, I was saying to myself, great point, good point. Because sometimes I feel like you're right. What is this? This is a useless battle. It seems like everything that you attempt to do as an African male gets undone in some form or another, where nothing is lasting, and that could be extremely frustrating. You know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I mean, it's like, what made me think of it is just, trying to organize things on an individual level and a personal level, you know what I mean, like just amongst our own people.
Right.
And it seems like you get the most resistance. You get so much resistance when you try to do something amongst our people. But the moment that you lay down your sword, or you just say, F it, I'm just going to be on some me stuff,
right,
it seems like it's an easier ride.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's much easier when you don't care about this stuff.
Right.
And so then the question is, why do you persist, Ambassador Sar, in being African? Why?
Well, the hope is interesting, because Neo's response was because he chose to, but we know when we went further into the story, we realized that it was, in fact, love. It was, for him, it was the love of that woman. When you have children, it's the love of those children. And that's why you do it. The love of your family, for my love for you, it won't allow me to quit. I won't quit on our survival. I would have to just be dead and gone. But while I'm alive and have consciousness in me, I'm going to continue to pursue the African mission individually and collectively. And I cannot waver in that, because my children need that. It'll be easier, and I know I'm taking the road less traveled, because I know, and like a lot of people on this call, and you included, that if you really want to pimp what you know and manipulate and be foul, it would be so easy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
To flip around and placate and use the knowledge to just manipulate. But why don't you do it? Why don't you do it, Holette? Why don't you do that? Why don't you just be the spiritual pimp, be the manipulator, get the money, get the suit on? I can see you with the suit on. Get your church.
You know, I think what it is one time this actually happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when you're walking in the streets, and I've had this happen to me on many occasions. You hold the door open for someone, and they walk through, and they don't even acknowledge you. I remember one time I had helped a lady up the steps. She was, having a shopping cart, and she was going up the subway steps. So I came behind her, and I lifted the shopping cart up and went up the full flight of stairs. When the wheels hit the top stairs, she went off. She didn't even look back.
Mm.
And so, I was coming into my office building one day, and I held the door open, and the person went through and didn't acknowledge. So I got in the elevator, and they were in the elevator, and another person was there, and they started talking about, they can't believe how people are rude in the way that they are. And they asked me, what did I think about it? I said, well, I don't do what I do so I can get praise or get acknowledgement. I do it because that's how I was raised.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the bottom line. It's like if I see a door that needs to be held, I'm not going to slam it in somebody's face because that's not how I was raised. So the acknowledgement would be nice, but ultimately, you can't stop being who you are.
Right.
It's like that scene from Malcolm X, when Malcolm X was in, after he found out what he did about Elijah Muhammad, and he was, sitting in the room working, and his wife was like, what's going on? He's like, well, you can't stop doing what you're doing, you got to keep working, even though he was hurt.
Right.